So I basically I got back from the store. Um, I went to Market Basket. I guess it's not a well. I guess it's an adult rant already because I just dropped an F bomb. I didn't really want to, but whatever. So I just got back from Market Basket, and I was laughing because well, I actually just downed. I love these. It's not my favorite, but it's high on the list. So, you know, I was laughing because I was at the ice in the ice cream section, and all I wanted was a damn vanilla ice cream. That's all I wanted. All I wanted was vanilla ice cream. Vanilla, just plain vanilla. It doesn't matter if it's French vanilla. Just just a plain vanilla or vanilla, whatever you want to call it. A plain vanilla ice cream. I'm not a fan of all this peanut butter, chocolate, all this stuff like that when it comes to ice cream. And I was laughing because I was like, okay, let me go to like well, I guess I would say it is my favorite ice cream. I'm not really because vanilla is probably second. So I go for my black cherry ice cream or just cherry ice cream because you can't go wrong with that. And it just so happens that cherry ice creams in black cherry or darker cherries go good with if you're having alcohol. And everything had damn chocolate in it. I was like, the cherry has chocolate. What are you guys doing? You're putting chunks of chocolate, and it's good. Don't get me wrong, it's good. But it's not something I always want to have. Sometimes I just want to have the cherry, and I'm thinking, why do you always want chocolate in goddamn everything? And I'm just that oddball that's not so much a fan of chocolate. And then I laughed because in my head I was making like a joke, and I was thinking, well, damn. Could you imagine if life was actually like that in general? Then I would be married already. You get what I'm saying? Could you imagine if all these white women, all especially these hot white women, especially white women that are married, have boyfriends and stuff, the good ones. Imagine if all they always had to have some chocolate in them. Could you imagine? I would be set. I would be set. They'd be leaving. I'm a leave my boyfriend for this black man. I just thought that was funny because I was like, man, that is a bitch. It's like you just can't have a plain ice cream. It's either got to have chocolate in it, peanut butter, caramel. You can't just have a normal vanilla. I was like, did they buy all the vanilla? Did everybody buy the vanilla? Maybe. You know, maybe they did because from what I observed, I wasn't seeing no vanilla. I wasn't seeing not a trace of vanilla. Closest thing to vanilla I saw in there was all the white people in general and all the white bitches in there. That was the only vanilla that was floating around in there. The vanilla that's around my friggin' iris was in there. The white that's on my teeth. That's all. Okay? Jesus. It is what it is. Well, so, you know, on this channel, um, we rant on this channel. We rant about cryptids on this channel. We do that on this channel. Um, you know, we rant about cryptozoology on this channel, and I was gonna talk about how yesterday I was watching this video, and it was a Monster 911 video. You should actually check out their channel, Monster 911. It's with I believe it's Lane and Lance Hightower. I could be butchering the names, but I believe that's what the name of the brothers are. I think it was Cryptid Brothers, Cryptid Investigation, but it's like Monster 911 now, and it is an excellent channel. Now I will say, I'm just gonna say, because someone's like, "Oh, that's the elephant in the room. You're a Satanist. Those people are Christian." I mean, yeah, I can't change the fact that they're Christian. They're Christian. I didn't say they were bad people. I didn't say that they were that their channel sucks. I didn't say that. No, they just happen to be totally. They just happen to be on the religious spectrum, diametrically opposed and diametrically on the same. Not same, the opposite avenue that I'm on. Just like the Dark Waters channel, I always tell people, you should go to Dark Waters channel, because Dark Waters channel. What I'm doing is I'm giving you. Okay, I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. I'm giving you the best, like some of, because there's a lot of them, but I'm giving you some of the really best channels that you could ever visit if you want to know about cryptozoology, or if you already know about it, but you want to find like a quality channel with honest people that give good content. You go to the Cryptid Brothers, or Monster 911. You go to Dark Waters channel. Or I'm trying to think. There's or because this is another thing. You believe in, you know about cryptozoology, but you also are pro alien disclosure. You check out Dr. Stephen Greer's channel and stuff that he puts out, right? You should be on. You should go to all three of those channels. Just saying, just saying. Like if you really want to know what's up, go to those channels. I also would say, if you type in on the internet, if you type in Golden Almanac Creation, I don't believe she used to be Chella Cooley. It's like a disclosure channel, but or who's the other person? Darn it, I forgot his name. But it's a man that was on the channel too, but okay, you gotta find that channel, man. I don't even know what it's going by now. Some people are dumb. They just think the girl's nuts or whatever, and think a lot. They can think a lot of things, but those are some channels, man. I'm giving you like quality, the highest quality channels I should go to if you really want to know what's really the real truth. You want to know the crux, if you will, of this whole cryptozoology, alien disclosure, interdimensional thing. If you want to really know about all that, go to those channels, right? Just saying. So anyway, I was watching this video, and how do I say this? This woman, actually, it was a woman talking about her experience where she saw, and this was on Monster 911. She saw a most likely a canine-like being, a canine-like creature, and I just it was crazy, because watching this, it's really interesting. It's interesting how, even though us as people have different religions, we have different perspectives, we have different lifestyles, different cultures, different everything, but we experience things, but we experience them from a different lens. We experience them from different perspectives too. That's the thing. We're looking at it from different perspectives, but we're all actually experiencing the same thing at the same time. And I have relatives that have seen beings basically, and they were, now that I think of it, because when I was growing up, they told me stories about this sometimes, like especially my mom told me stories, and she told me stories that like my grandmother told her and stuff. And I was thinking of it, and I was thinking like how they were legitimately freaked out by these encounters. They were very, and they were Christian too. So because they were Christian, they already had preconceived notions about what they were experiencing already, and beliefs and stuff. But what I found so amazing about it is how the similarities of things that they saw uh, in certain behaviors of these beings, and you just realize that like as freaky or as weird as unusual as it really seems when someone is to encounter one of these things, the truth is it's actually kind of run of the mill and kind of mundane. It's really because you have to understand so many people have encountered these things and had experiences and encounters, but also the being itself is looking from a totally different perspective. You get what I'm saying? Like the being that is being encountered is not thinking like you're thinking. You know what I mean? It's not thinking like a person. It's not it's going about its business. Like I always say, it's going about its business, and it's just the person is encountering this thing, and it's just really really fascinating about um how something can actually just be it's a day-to-day thing for them, and then for us it's like this wild experience. It's like could be traumatic. It's just like all this emotion and um thoughts and stuff put in something so small. For them it's like they're probably just crossing a road, or they're just doing what they're doing, and then like for us it's this big deal. You know what I mean? Like even if the thing was literally stalking us or observing us or whatever, it's not that big of a deal in my opinion. It's really not. It's like it's our state of mind and our type of mind that and our emotions and stuff that cause us to like put such an emphasis on something that it really is just so mundane and just good, like run of the mill every day. Because you got to understand, it was already, if you saw it, it was already there. You know what I mean? You just happened to catch it. You just happened to like catch a glimpse. It was already there. You know what I mean? It's like it was already there. It was been there. You know what I mean? And you just happened to see it like maybe once or twice. You know, not to say, because I know this is true, that these beings sometimes have a connection or fixation on people or a certain person to where they'll visit you periodically, or they may even like what's the word, harass you or something. So it starts to become like, okay, this thing is watching you, this thing is visiting you. You don't know why. um Whether its intentions are good or bad is, I don't know. You know what I mean? Who knows? It could be good, it could be bad, I don't know. But what I'm saying is, this is how this thing works. Okay, this is how this works. And I also wanted to go into something incredibly crazy and insane, but not. It's not insane. It's just how this thing works. So I talked about this before about how these beings have anatomical extreme differences between us human beings. They have big differences. One of the main differences, which is a running theme, is the anatomical design of a digitigrade leg. Okay, we as human beings do not have that leg. That's like a dog, a hawk. It's like a dog leg. That's like a goat leg. Um, so and there's other things too. A lot of times, like for instance, a curvature in the spine, so that they can run quadrupedally. You know what I mean? Very easily. It's like a cheetah. Think like a cheetah. You ever seen a cheetah's back, or even a dog? It has a curve. You know what I mean? So it's like you got You got the front of the chest low to the ground. You have the neck coming up, and then there's a curvature in part of the neck. So the neck could go down, it could go up. You have how do I say this? You have like I said, you have the curvature in the spine, so you have the chest ability to hang low. You have the midsection, not midsection really, but it could actually curve down. You have the pelvis pointing downward towards the ground. You have the legs splayed out. You have two sets of knees, and really, so you have. This is crazy, but this is the way it is for a lot of these cryptids. Believe it or not, this is the way it is. You have two friggin' knees. You got one up here, and then you have a knee at the where we would have our well, it's not, I don't know, I guess I have to call it a knee. Where our heel is basically a knee, and then you have an elongated extension, and then you may have different digits or part of a foot at the bottom. So what you essentially have is you have something that has the ability to stand upright, but also just as easily has the ability to move on all fours very fast. Faster, I'd even say, than some animals that we know of, like some literal all fours animals we know of. And then they also have the ability, it's going to sound crazy, but this is God's honest truth, to walk on the tips of their fingers, which is crazy, but this is what they do. They get incredibly low to the ground because, like I said, because of the way the spine is positioned, because of the length of the torso proportionally to the arms and the legs, typically longer arms, they can get so low to where their stomach could be touching like if you imagine a belly button, their stomach is touching the ground. Their limbs are in any articulate way, like not a clumsy way, it's very smooth. Their limbs are out. Their fingers, they actually are putting pressure sometimes on their fingers. They can bounce on their, it sounds crazy, but they're bouncing their whole body. Just imagine they're bouncing their whole body weight on their friggin' fingers and toes. Do you get what I'm saying? So they're not even having to really move so much their mid part of their body. They can actually move more or less from their what would be our heel, which is more like a knee for them, down, and then their fingers and forearms in the between the the like your wrist, they're flicking and bouncing themselves so smoothly that it literally looks like they're gliding. It looks like a mass gliding across the ground extremely low. And not even like a cougar, because everyone we've seen it. I know you guys have seen cougars and leopards get so low to where their stomach is touching the ground and they're still creeping across it. No, these things can do that so fast that it literally looks like something gliding across the ground. And you're wondering why is the midsection doesn't look like it's really moving, and you just see a mass and it's moving across the ground, and it's they're using high grass as cover and low grass that's not too high as cover because they can get that low. And even if this thing is like you got to think of it. If this thing is 7 foot tall, or even taller, because they can get up to 7 foot tall, 10 foot, 12, they can get that big. This thing is on the ground. Just imagine this. This thing is that low on the ground, speedily, faster than a person could ever. This thing is booking, can if it wants to, across the ground that low, that stealthily, right? That low through tall grass, lower grass, bushes, shrubs, and people are like, "Well, I saw it, but then I didn't see it. I don't know where it went. It's like it disappeared." This is amazing. You have to understand these beings are not just. I have to say it like this: as scared as people are, or they think they're so freaked out, that's not a person. There's no way nothing can do that. It's literally like you have to appreciate and admire the fact that these things are not just trash. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like these things must have been created with a purpose. They have its reason, purpose, just like anything else. But you have to admire the abilities they have. That's the thing, because it's like, why can something do that? You know what I mean? It's like, this is how they survive. This is how they elude people. This is something they hunt. This is something they just do. And it's an amazing thing. It's like, could you imagine that? Could you could just picture in your head? Could you imagine if you could move that? Think of how your vision would be like if you could keep your head up in the perfect position and you could just move straight diagonally. Any way you want to, backwards probably, forward, diagonal. You could glide around like that low on the ground, and then understanding that um even though you are literally, like I said, it's not even an extreme because on average, actually, these things are at least 6 to 7 feet on average. They're much bigger and taller than people are usually. So imagine this. Imagine that you could be 7 foot. Just really picture this. You know how fast you can cover ground being 7 feet. You understand how powerful and how agile you are just being 7 feet alone. If you're athletic, just imagine being that low. Imagine that. It's almost unimaginable that you'd be that low and that fast. You know what I mean? And then the crazy thing is then when you stand up, you're even taller when you're that low. It means if something is that long and that low, it's covering a lot of ground and it's relatively stealthy because most people don't even think to be looking that low. They're not looking for something at that height. They're never just normally I do, but if I know about this stuff, obviously I am looking that low because I'm looking for everything. You know what I mean? So, but I'm saying the general average person is not leaving their house in when they're in anywhere they're starting to look around and looking that low just to see if anything's moving around. It's funny enough because one time I literally saw what was it? It was a skunk. Oh yeah, I saw a skunk creeping all the way from a parking lot in these brushes and plants all the way across the street. And I'm thinking like probably no one even would notice that. No one's looking, no one's noticing him creeping. And this was at like I'd say um 12 a.m. nearing 1 o'clock. So no one's looking. No one's looking. No one's expecting this. This is what I mean. No one would be expecting that. It's a very extreme thing, and it's like you got to think, wow, like something's actually designed like this. It's not a mistake. It's not a freak incident. It's this thing is actually built like this for whatever reason, and it's mind boggling. Um, it's a shame, in my opinion, that science tries to cover up the existence of these things because, in actuality, why would you want to cover up something like that? It's like we discovered animals that people say are amazing and all this. And then you also have to realize how intelligent, if this thing is either smart as a person, maybe not as intelligent, maybe in some cases smarter, just not introduced to our certain logics, technologies, habits, etiquettes, and things like that, but it may have a potential mentally that is maybe even higher than a person. Even if it doesn't have speech does not mean what I'm trying to say is just because something doesn't have speech does not mean it's not as or more intelligent than a person. It just means speech is not a needed thing, like human speech. That type of articulation is not a thing in its world or whatever. Um, the crazy thing is, even that makes it even the more serious that it shouldn't be that people are trying to hide the existence of these things at all. You know what I mean? It really shouldn't be a thing. And then you also have, like I said, I'm also going to repeat it again, canine in nature. So that blows every scientific thought that people have out of the water. It's like, why would you think, oh, why would a canine be that human, or why would this doesn't seem to make sense. The problem is this: it's not that it doesn't make sense, it's that all of our history, all of our science, everything that we think we know, that we've learned, has some truths in it, but a lot of it is just lies. It's just blatant lies. It's a cover up. Basically, it's a cover up. It's, for whatever reason, a way to not even acknowledge something that is extremely important that we should know. So there it is. You know what I mean? But I just thought it was I just think that's an amazing concept. Me, I'm a martial artist. I'm an athlete. I I just I'm thinking like, imagine if I could do those things. It's like that would be crazy. That would be you would literally have literal new. It's funny. Like think of it. If a person could do that, you would literally have like new sports invented off the fact that a person could literally do that. There's just no way. I'm imagining it because I'm thinking the physics behind it and like how you would have like that's insanity. You know what I mean? Could you imagine on your fingers, like literally putting all your weight? I mean, I know people can technically put their weight on their fingers like that over enough time and training, but it's not like that. Not like what I'm saying is these things are built in a way to where for long periods of time, long distances, are built with the right ratios. That's how you could really describe it, with the right bone ratio, tendons, joints, stuff like that, to where this is not an extreme effort for them. This is just how easy as a dog could just go down and run. This for them, it's like nothing. It's like, yeah, I'm pretty much just walking. It's like, what? That's insanity. That is insanity. And then you also have to remember the sheer power that something like this possesses. That's another thing, the sheer power physically that it possesses because of that size, muscle, bone structure, density, ratios. It's hilarious. It's like it is hilarious combatively. It makes us look like babies. It's like, oh, wow. It's like, wow, they're just gonna annihilate us if physically. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's really what it is. It's really like someone had said something like, if we were to try to go up hand to hand unarmed with one of these hominids like a Bigfoot, they would pull our heads right off. That is really the truth. They would literally detach our vertebrae from the rest of everything fast, easy. There's no. It's like it'd be nothing. It's no contest. It would be easy for them. They could fan us out like a towel. You take a towel and you literally just fling it. You fan out a towel or a rug, and that's what they would do to us. Literally, they would fan us out with ease. We'd get fanned out. There's no martial art. There's no training. There's no nothing that would prepare you that could for empty-handed one-on-one anything with something like that. Nothing. Even some of these like dog-like creatures, nothing. There's nothing. You're assed out. You are assed out. That's what I mean. It's power on a level that you almost can't comprehend physically. Like it would happen so fast that you're like, oh, you're already dead. Pretty much, you're already unconscious. You're already dead. There was a story about a guy who one of these dog like creatures, I believe it was, had literally took him while he was inside of his sleeping bag and tent and ragged him and fanned him out. Literally, the thing was like he said it was making which I could understand. It's making sinister noises because it's probably was just being a bully and enjoying this crap. This thing is fanning him out. Like I said, it's like you picking up a bag, not even a sack of potatoes. You're picking up because it's not hard for these things. They're picking him up. He's picking the guy up, and he's picking up, slamming to the ground, picking up, slamming to. It's like he's nothing. He's a sack of. He's a fucking bag at that point, getting rocked. And it's like, it's up to the creature. Is it going to kill me or is it going to leave me alone? It actually let him live because it didn't kill him because he lived to tell the story. It just fanned him out and shook him up, and he's all bruised up, dizzy, probably concussed. Damn, that's like getting wrung out by a gorilla. You know how strong a gorilla is? Like I said, a gorilla will grab a full grown man and wring him out, fan him out like he's a towel. That's the type of power you're talking about when you're talking about these things. So this is like I said, these things aren't trash. These things are notes for like trash. Um, there's something special about them. There's something very special about them. Clearly, the fact that they're not so discovered is a clear indication that there's something incredibly special about them. Um, so it makes you think. It really makes you think. It actually makes you think to the point to where you rethink how you think everything. You're like, well, what is life really? What is our existence really? There's so much more out there. What are we really? And as odd enough as this is going to sound, that's one of the reasons why I am a Satanist anyway. And that's why I look at things like, well, I just got to enjoy life. Not only enjoy it, but I have to realize what I want in life. How am I going to get it? And make the steps to trying to accomplish it. Because, like I said, life is short. And there's so much more out there. Even like I said, there's so much more out there, and this pertains to even when you're dead. There's so much in existence that, like I said, while you're alive and you're in a human body and you're alive, you want to have the most out of your life. And this is going to make some people angry. This is just my opinion. If that means walking on top of people's heads and being an asshole and still knowing that you can easily get what you want in life and be happy, then that's exactly what I'm going to do. Like I always say, no fucks given either. No fucks given, because you're gonna die anyway. That's the truth. You're not immortal. Your soul's immortal, but your body's not immortal. You're gonna die anyway. All the stuff that you like in life, your little, like, I got shit in here. I got stuff that how do I say it? I worked hard to buy, and things I like, and look, where's that shit gonna go when I die, right? See what I'm saying? I don't even know. Where's it gonna go when I die? And then I also have to think, like I said, if you're trying to, like, you're a person like myself, you're trying to find a woman, you want to be married, you want to be with that woman for the rest of eternity, if that's possible. Like, that's more important than all these things around you, all this material stuff. It's more important than anything. So, like I said, when you're in your journey trying to accomplish these things that are actually important, you can't really give a fuck about certain other people. Just they are what they are, and it is what it is.